be sick.
Yeah.
Game number 2 is loading up.
Daybreak.
Great map.
Yes, indeed.
My favorite map to play on. And we're going to go ahead and get that up on screen for you guys momentarily here. Artosis, take it away.
Oh, that is me. All right, down here in the bottom left, we have a great player indeed. It is our Terran player, Bomber. Oh God, I'm so bad at observing.
It's hard.
Right. Up here in the top right, we have, watch this move, Texas. In the top right, we have this great Zerg player. It is Slivko.
There you go. Slow down there, Spielberg, with your camera work.
I know,
Damn.
right? Oh my God, I'm so good. I'm so talented. Guys, before we get into this game, I want to tell you, get on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
And hashtag IEM. Start talking about this tournament. Tell your friends. Let them know. Get on Team Liquid. Talk about it on the forums. Just get on your Facebook feed. Put it on there so that all your high school friends that you don't talk to anymore can see what cool guy you've become.
All those people you met once at a dinner that you never talk to again, but you see their updates every day. They can learn about IEM.
Their friends
Intel
are your
Extreme
friends,
Masters.
and they think that Facebook is a point system to whoever can just add the most. But yeah, get on there, get on Reddit and upvote. Not just our StarCraft, but our gaming as well. Because you know what? People in our gaming are just people that haven't found our StarCraft yet.
That's true, actually. It's funny because we're seeing a lot of people out down here at GamesCom. They come in, and maybe they're a Final Fantasy guy. Maybe they're, they want to look at the new Doom game. They want to look at, the new Metal Gear game. And they come by here and they're looking at this and they're saying, what the hell? The StarCraft 2 tournament, maybe they got the game, beat the single player, played multiplayer once, lost, and and moved on to the next game. Yeah. And, it's funny because in my experience, we're seeing new people come to StarCraft 2 every day.
Yeah.
I meet people that have only seen the last 2 seasons of GSL, just discovered it, met it through a friend, or actually saw it on Twitter. I actually hear that quite a bit. And that's really exciting because that means that our entire marketplace is not stagnant, that actually it can continue to grow. So, spread the word if you're on the stream, and hopefully as the doors open up here, we're going to see a lot of new people get introduced to StarCraft 2, to esports here.
Yeah, and in fact, I think the thing that most video game players don't get, and this is why I think doing things like hashtagging it and promoting on social media sites and stuff like that is so important, is that this is not like some sort of random, silly thing. There's like a very set way where you can get better. There's a very scientific way to play this game and succeed and up your skill and things like that. And when people find out that that's the case, it's not just like, oh, well, my friend is really good at shooting people in GoldenEye, or he knows the Mario Kart track. That's not what StarCraft is, and we need to show these people that.
You nailed it, Artosis.
Thanks.
I love listening to you talk, Artosis. We have 2 refineries about to finish here, and I'm really curious, actually, what Slivko's attitude is going into this game, what he has planned out, because that's a frustrating position to play from. You've had those games. I think we've all had those games. If you play a lot of StarCraft 2, where you get hit pretty hard early on and you survive it, but your opponent's good, and it's going to be an uphill battle, but no matter what you do, he's there to stop you every step of the way.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because he has to look at that. And here's the thing. If you're like a really good tournament player, you can keep yourself very calm despite what's happened in the previous game and really, truly analyze it, no ego involved. Then Slivko, if he can do all this, he can look at it and say, okay, you know what? I lost 12 drones early. I lost a queen. I had to make a lot of roaches and lings I didn't want to make. He caught me off guard with this. And then I almost held a bunch of times. So I feel like Slivko's going to go into this saying, okay, I'm gonna try my defense a little bit better this game. Just try to be a little bit more aware of what's going on and not lose a bunch of drones early on. And then maybe I can fight against Bomber. I don't think we're going to see anything cheesy or crazy or new out of Slivko. I think it's going to be the same rock-solid macro play into Broodlord that he always does. And
looks like we might have a little bit of a little lag here. That'll probably go away in a second. Anyways, it is, it's probably going to be, as you said, a pretty standard game here. And I don't know what to expect. It looks like the timer's still going down here, so I don't know. There was a disconnect. Occasionally that happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Hi, we're back on camera.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing good. I hope everybody at home's doing good. What time would it be if you're in the States actually right now?
Whoa, I can't believe you asked me that. Maybe
like
5?
What's 11 times 14? We're on live TV. Go.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, Tasteless.
Somewhere. Wherever you are in the world, whether it's breakfast time or dinner time. Cheers to you.
Or the middle of the night.
Middle of the night, yep.
It doesn't matter when it is, because you should be watching this tournament because, you know, as Jarrett Kale was saying, this is one of the greatest things ever conceived.
Yeah, it really
IEM
is.
has been around for a very long time, supporting pro gaming. You know, we've had amazing matches in this. This, I know, is the one tournament that I never miss because, well, you know, it's on a
and
perfect
that's really
time
saying
for
something
Korea,
because
and
the StarCraft scene is like
matches.
super saturated at this point. There's like tournaments every day. There's so many people streaming. You can basically be in a 24-hour StarCraft cycle.
Oh yeah,
constantly.
That's basically what I'm in.
And let's see here. Actually, we're gonna pause in the game. We'll get updated soon with what exactly is going on.
Yeah, they didn't disconnect, so that's really good.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be disconnect for sure there. Once it gets below that, you know,
once it's on that,
it's frozen for
like
10 seconds. Yeah. Whoa. We really are the same. We really are in Archon Artosis.
I know. This is actually silly.
Right. So as long as the players are ready, we're going to throw that back on screen.
Oh man, I can't wait till we get back on the screen because something cool is happening. Let's turn it back to the game, guys.
Let's do it. By the way, Artosis, you're doing a great job observing.
No, I'm not. Thank you, though. You are truly a bro. All right, so look at this. Bomber is setting up bunkers outside this third, and he's going to wait for this to finish. Watch. Oh, my God. Oh, that's so painful for Slivko.
Talk about perfectly timed out, too.
And he's bringing Hellions as well. Queen's coming down with a lot of Zerglings, and luckily the Zerglings are going to get there before the Hellions. That's going to help out a lot. He's got to target down this SCV with his Queens, though, and it looks like he will get it. A really cool move here by Bomber, but just didn't work out this time. And look, Slivko, he's on top of things.
Well, he's definitely going to have that early defense coming in here. And I know we have Banshees coming out here with Cloak, along with the Hellions being reactored out here.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is actually almost the standard build at this point in time, or at least one of the two standard builds. The other one is massing up Marines and getting siege tanks. Here we got Hellions coming in here. And they managed to get up the ramp. The drones are going to be in jeopardy right now. Let's see how many he can get.
Oh, he's damaged a few. Actually, Slivko's dealing with this pretty well so far. You have to admit that you're going to lose some drones and just pull some of them out, but he is not panicking. He's not running them in a line, just running some of them away. And he's doing all right with this.
All right, gunning down these Hellions. Looks like this one should knock it out with the Spine Crawler there. Oh, two more come up over here.
Oh, and the drones come out to fight against the Hellions.
This is getting to the scary point.
Yeah, it is.
The point of no return. You lose too many drones, and you are in huge trouble.
Well, this is like last game, Tasteless. He lost 13 drones here, lost 12 last game. That's pretty painful. He didn't lose a queen, which helps. And he didn't have to make as many units to hold on to it. So, I mean, it's about similar damage to last game. I'd say that Slivko's in a little bit better shape than that game. Just slightly.
Looks like the Hellions are running out now. We got some Roaches and Zerglings coming in over here. The third command center is on the way. And, you know, I think from here it's going to be the same plan here for Bomber. He's probably going to sit back. He's going to mass up. He's going to do what we call powering, where he just sits on a few bases and just makes a bunch of units here for this kind of doom push that's going to be coming out here. Now, the Roaches do see the Banshee. They're sort of forced to go forward here. Now, they could get this SCV that's making the command center to get there in time, and the last second.
Well, you know, these aren't really going to do that much because of this Banshee there, Tasteless. It's going to be able to pick them off pretty quickly. In fact, he's going to run some of them away and just, what are you going to do, you know? There's a Banshee there, there's a bunker. These Roaches weren't all that worthwhile, though, so this is not like a huge turning point in the game or anything like that.
Right. As you can see...
oh, man, he's going for a third Banshee. That's 3 Banshees with Cloak. That's
you know, those things are not cheap.
No, they are not.
I mean, you get a bunch of Banshees like that, and they got to do some damage. They need to kill a couple drones, you know, maybe snipe a queen while cloaked, or kill off a ton of creep tumors, because they are very expensive units, and they have to do more than just pay for themselves.
That's right. Now, Slivko does have a good amount of spores. These spores not
kind of
necessarily
weird
the
placement.
best spots. Yeah, it looks like he just did this frantically, really quickly, realizing that he needed them against Banshees. But with 2 Banshees coming in from the side, there could be a lot of damage done here.
Yeah, again, and this all goes back to that positional thing we were just touching on, is that they're not exactly in a good spot here. It's been a bad place for the infestation pit, by the way. And he's going to have to cancel. And he does it at the last second. Very nice.
He does indeed, but look at how many drones he's lost. 29 so far. That's pretty big, Tasteless. This is getting far worse than last game for Slivko. It's really
imagine Slivko's supply 30 more than it is right now. That's what it should be at
Yeah.
Had Bomber done no
damage.
damage.
That's drones, and if he has that many more drones, then he can buy even more hatcheries, more units, all that jazz, and then it's even higher than that. He should be like having a huge amount of supply right now.
All right, he's relocating that Spore Crawler. Now throwing down an Extractor. Meanwhile, now this is kind of funny. He took this base instead of the other one. I guess it's because on this map you actually have as many minerals as other bases. On some versions of this map, only one gas geyser and about 5 mineral patches.
I got to say, I actually far prefer on this version of Daybreak for Terran to take this base as their third.
That means that the fourth is going to be so easy to take.
And also, the multi-pronged attacks are not going to work as well because this is basically where you are. If Zerg wants to run all the way here to attack you and then be flanked from two sides, then sure, go ahead. Whereas if your third is up where it normally is, then, I mean, they obviously have multiple attack routes.
What do you think about Bomber taking out the rocks right now? I would actually prefer to keep them there as an obstruction, and so Zerglings can't run by, because Bomber's in the lead. What does Zerg do when they're behind? They counterattack.
Yeah.
Every time you move out, they just run into your base. So that's kind of a peculiar decision by Bomber.
That is a little bit weird. You know, sometimes when you're just in super macro mode, though, you just want your units to move around very easily. I think that's probably what he's thinking here.
Okay, Spire, about 1/3 of the way done here.
He does have his fourth up, but it's slower than Bomber's third base, and you know, that's a little bit rough. He wanted it to get a little quicker.
I do like the Baneling landmines spread out on the map here. That's one of the only ways you can come back as Zerg besides counterattacking is having well-placed Banelings, detonating them on the Marines as they walk over. A lot of times when you're in a position like Bombers, you're just going to keep powering so hard that there's no way that you know, you're going to think about saving scans. You're going to be dropping mules, getting as many Marines as possible because you're thinking, I'm going to end this right now. And occasionally that will cost Terran players the game. Let's see if he steps on any landmines this time. It looks like there's none in his path, actually.
Yeah, it's too bad. He really is anticipating attack from up here, but it looks like Bomber wants to go down here. And with that scan there and the Banelings rolling up, Bomber's going to know. This is a huge tell that there's actually going to be Baneling landmines.
Okay. Is he going to scan? He may even scan here to get rid of the creep tumors.
Yeah,
but this is the big focal point here. These 3 Banelings right up ahead. Counterattack, by the way, over here. And remember, that is not a planetary. That is an orbital. So a lot of damage is going to be dealt to these SCVs here trying to evacuate.
Yeah, he's actually doing a good job just using that hold position so they attack whatever's near them. In this case, SCVs. The Marines, though, going to clean them up pretty quickly because of that.
And clean them up they do. Bomber almost maxed out. Again, it's really all about this Baneling landmine.
Yeah, he actually has to hit a Baneling landmine here.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he knew what was going on there. I mean, that's the only thing that 5 Banelings are going to be rolling up that hill for.
Exactly.
It's too bad he didn't do it a little bit before that like he had up here.
This is going to be very tough for Slivko to handle because Terran's maxed out. There's a parade of units crossing the map here. He's trying to get into a defensive position, but once you lose this 4th base here, if Terran pushes your 3rd or your 2nd, it's like a narrow hallway. And Zerg never wants to face Terran in a little narrow valley or anything like that unless they have Broodlords. And we don't quite have that yet. We have 5 on the way. But is that going to be out in time before this 3rd is taken out? I don't think so.
Well, look at this. He even has a macro hatch down here, so losing this 3rd base is a terrible blow. Perfect spread on the Siege Tanks and Marines. Notice how he's spread them all out, so fungal growth is really negated.
Yeah, and Baneling's connecting.
Yeah, I mean, there's Broodlords, but it's not going to be enough. Even if he holds this off, he's taking way too much damage from Bomber.
Notice he's going to target down. Oh, nice transfuses there on the hatchery. Slivko trying to survive here. By the way, Bomber supply now evened out with Slivko, but he will get that hatchery, and that's it. Mission accomplished. He can head out now.
Well, it looks like he's going to kill off all the Siege Tanks, which is really nice. But what does Slivko do now? I feel like what he has to do is, I mean,
he should really
counterattack, right? But a counterattack, that's going to be a hard sell.
Bomber should actually just take those medevacs and drop the main. His Broodlords are out.
That's true.
And that would prevent a counterattack.
Yeah, he'll have to send his Zerglings up there to save that. Well, I mean, Slivko just adding hatches all over the place. He did make a hatch down here before that battle started, so that's really going to help out quite a bit because now he can finally get his 3rd base mining up again.
So he's going to send his drones down there. Pretty long travel time, though, so the economy of Slivko not fully operational just yet. Now he's kind of holding this position where his 4th base was, that kind of center base. I almost feel like that's the center of the chessboard on your side of the map. It's, you always want to hold that position whether you're Zerg or Terran. If you don't have that position, you have no ability to move around the map.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, well, I was going to say something about castling, but that's in the back row. But, I mean, basically you want this to be really secured. It's your focal point. It's your rally point. You know, it's where all your units go to. It's the center of your octopus.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's your octopus head.
You poet. I like Slivko, though, taking the upper left. This is smart.
Yeah, that's
There's
pretty
a chance
pretty
Bomber
tricky.
actually will not expand there for a while. And if he can milk that while surviving these attacks, suddenly, guess what? Bomber's not going to have a lot of convenient places to expand. That's the last expansion that's easy for Terran to take at this phase of the game. Top center, bottom center, not so easy.
Well, yeah, and Bomber, you know, obviously since he took this base as his third, this one should be his fourth. So it's going to be a bit longer before he gets up there. And you know what? Slivko has to take little things like that. And in fact,
he's going to land that command center. We see the animation over that hatchery right now.
Yeah, he's going to know.
This little strategy.
Oh, man.
Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, he knows now, so that's going to be taken out with ease.
Oh,
in fact, no. Ooh. Oh, man, that was close.
That would have been crazy. Oh, that's too
I feel
bad.
like Bomber is being a little bit reckless with his movements on the map. He knew about the Baneling landmines. And normally when somebody goes Baneling landmines, for whatever reason, they just keep doing it the whole game, even if people have caught on. I guess it's because if one Baneling landmine connects,
makes all
the Terran can lose,
and you know what? He is even making Ravens and going up to Seeker Missile. So Baneling landmines are basically going to be gone pretty quickly here. Just walk around with the Ravens in his army, and he will see everything, including the creep tumors. But Slivko, you know, he's building up a decent army, right? He's got 7 broods, 16 corruptors, 6 infestors, and just a kind of a handful of everything else. If he can just cost efficiently kill a few Bomber armies, he could turn this into like a super long game. But Bomber is eventually going to drop the hammer and just start pushing forward with insane macro.
Yeah, if you notice, he's setting up bunkers everywhere for defense. He's got a nice siege tank line. He's got a sensor tower here, and he is like, I'm not even joking. If he is, how many bunkers is he even making? He's got 8 on the way, literally.
Well, you know what? This is it's super safe. He might be thinking that Slivko's going to come all in him or something, but Slivko is just working on his economy. He's got 82 drones. He's got 44 larvae, which is, I mean, that's a big deal, man. He can make at least 44 supply immediately upon losing a piece of his army.
And that's where Larva Inject really pans out in the late game, is the more Larva Injects you have, you lose your whole army, as Artosis just said a second ago. You remax out. By the way, a Fusion Core here,
He's actually, Bomber's going for the Supreme late game, man. I mean, his macro's so good that I assumed he would just start attacking,
push,
but he's deciding, okay, I'm going to go super cost efficient, go for the long game, and that's going to be air-based for him. It's going to be a lot of Ravens and battle cruisers. So
now he hasn't filled up these bunkers yet. They're all empty. Meanwhile, he's going to send some changelings in there, it looks like. Try to scope it out. And here's that center push we see in almost every late game ZBT. Where they're going to be fighting over this little lane in the middle. Banelings and Festers need to stay underneath the Broodlords.
He has to be really careful as well, Tasis, because Seeker Missile is out, and Seeker Missile, as we've seen all weekend long in this tournament, is
nice fungal.
That
really nice fungal on those Vikings. He's closing in here now. Moving in with the Broodlords. Now,
nice micro.
He's got, what, about 9 Broodlords and 18 Corruptors, so having those Vikings get hit is huge. Baneling's coming in here now, perhaps too soon. That was a bit preemptive.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Okay. Oh my God. That was pretty sick.
Yeah,
okay,
that was pretty huge, man.
That's Seeker Missile for you right there.
Indeed it is, and the Infestor's going to come up and start hitting some pretty big fungals with the Marines coming up as well, and Slivko's army is starting to fall apart here.
Yeah, you can see the Vikings got this nice fanned out setup here, hitting these Broodlords so hard. And again, Broodlords so important. If you lose all of them, you are set back to 0. And meanwhile, the Terran has free reign of the map. The Broodlords are really, besides Banelings, the only units that just stop you from being able to move freely as Terran. And we already saw the Banelings get taken out now. He is making 66 Zerglings and 19 Corruptors to try to come back here. But
that's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
I almost feel like switching into Ultra could be a better choice than going Broodlords. We're seeing people just keep going Broodlord Corruptor against someone that has a lot of Ravens with Seeker Missile, and that can be pretty tough.
Well, it looks like it almost seems as though Bomber is trying to just starve out Slivko. He's playing this hyper-passive style.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's just defending. And, I mean, that defense was really good because Slivko did actually go ahead and attack with all his units and end up losing them. So you know what? You got to hand it to Bomber as far as that goes. That was a really solid defense that was very cost efficient for him.
Now, in this situation, Zerg is going to mine out a little bit before Terran. That may depend on Mules, though. Mules kind of make the game a little bit funky because we have Baneling landmines, so there's going to be a lot of scans. So there's a sort of gray area. There's no way for us to track how many scans are going down here. He is making a bunch of command centers. Now, what this does is you can actually start to sacrifice SCVs and just use Mules, as you can see over here. And Planetary to attack. This should not kill it.
Well, he actually got around before any Mules or SCVs could really get in, but yeah, you might be right there, Taste. It's pretty hard to kill a Planetary. Look at this. Oh, God, he has Terran building plating. That's why this would have actually died without that.
Okay, I was going to say. I saw that 3 SCVs repairing that, and I'm like, damn. All right, is he going to get this Planetary? Good. That would be one small victory here for Slivko.
Oh, wow. Look at how many kills this thing has. 44 kills. This is like a Colossus thing right now, man.
Well, what I was saying earlier is there's a potential here for Slivko to dry up his income. Can we actually do a mineral check, Artosis? Check all the bases, see what we got here.
So, of course, the main gun of the Terran. The natural actually has a few left. Those can just be cleaned up later with some mules. The normal third, pretty good. The actual third in this game, yeah, it's gone. This one's doing well, but he's dropping all the mules there, so it won't last too long. For Slivko, his minerals are actually going to be pretty darn good because, remember, he lost his bases so many times. But, of course, his natural and main going to be mined out there.
So Bomber, and there's nothing wrong with the way Bomber's playing, but this is not the way we normally see Bomber play the game. He's just going to turtle.
Yeah, he does not want to lose.
He's just going to wait for the Zerg to keep attacking into him, to almost feed into him. And you know, I'm curious what Slivko's going to do. There's oh my God, oh my God! Imagine if he had hit that.
Slivko,
he could have then attacked the space that's being made. Oh
seriously.
My God! Act number 2, the sequel.
Oh, wow. So the Ravens actually killed the Marines because they killed the Banelings they were standing on top of.
The Marines were standing on top of the Banelings. They're like, wow, what's that? They just shot it and blew up.
That's what they were like.
Yeah, that's what they sounded like. You know, we could see Slivko go to Nidus Worms. When you push out this far with Terran, one of the only things you can do is go for Nidus Worms. My God, that's a lot of support crawlers.
I've never seen this. Tasis.
Why are we seeing so many crazy ZBTs here at Intel Extreme Masters?
You know what? It's true. We have seen so many Seeker missiles, and Slivko is making just a ton of spores, which
the
you don't
spore
see.
crawler push.
But I mean, that's obviously going to help. He's going to push.
Yeah,
it's going to be a spore crawler push.
It's literally a spore crawler push.
And that's, I mean, seriously, the hard part is keeping enough anti-air to get rid of point defense drones and Vikings and all the Ravens. But those spores obviously are going to help a lot.
I thought for a little bit, when we saw the Fusion Core, I thought maybe there's going to be this kind of funky transition into battle cruisers and some kind of attempt to get showmanship.
Could there be eventually, though?
I mean, I don't...
The game's actually getting reasonably close. Of course, Bomber is the one with the huge bank.
I do feel like Bomber should... This game should not have been this close based on the mid-game.
It feels like that, but Slivko...
I feel like Bomber almost over-respected.
Maybe.
Slivko said, wait a minute.
Well, right now we do have Bomber getting some more Ghost Academies, so that's going to be pretty interesting when he starts going for mass nukes. Nice scan there, realizing that, oh, of course Slivko has to take this last base. So every base on this map is taken right now, and every base is mining. When
you have no shared expansion on a map like this, and the shared expansion is just one which it's not clear whose territory it's on, you can just make a bunch of planetaries. And it looks like we're just going to see a bunch of planetaries all over the place.
And you know what? This is pretty cool, man. Their flyer upgrades are basically finishing out. Slivko even getting the Neural Parasite and starting missile upgrades because, hey, who knows? You might need them. So we do have the Baneling's completely ineffective there. He's going to have to bring over his Broodlord army, but he doesn't have as many spores here as he actually wants.
Yeah.
Looks like,
I've never seen a Zerg actually react this way. By the mass spores?
No, I
funky.
haven't either. But you know what's going to be very... Oh, my God.
Actually, that was not a good connection there.
That missed.
Pretty insane.
They hit like one brood.
All right, the Zerg's going to try to close in. He needs to secure one of these bases because he's lost this one. He's running out of locations on the board here to control.
Oh, my. And here we go.
All right.
Oh, nice split. Slivko, really good control there.
Good game sense. He said, okay, this is the Broodlord that's being targeted. I got to get this one out of the group.
No, he did a great job right there, man. Yeah, Slivko is just so good with his unit composition. You know, one thing I'm really excited to see, and I want to catch it, and I'm going to feel like a terrible observer if I don't. He has Neural. If you can Neural like 1 or 2 Ravens and try to get Seeker Missile off on the
Vikings and the Ravens, oh my God, that would be so good.
It can win you the game. Because I mean, it's going to take a while to rebuild all that. Now we do have battle cruisers and nukes on the way, guys. Go and tell everyone real quick on Reddit and Twitter and all that.
Yeah,
get them watching this, because this game might actually last for a while longer. We might see it mined out. This is like every single thing both players are using. Everything.
Oh my God, and the nuke.
The defensive nuke. Defense
nuke. This is so that the Zerg, if he enters that territory, obviously he's going to be hit. You can either let the nuke land or you can cancel it, depending. And, all right, Siege Tank's now running from these infested Terrans, but the nuke saves the day. I love when we get to this phase of TVZ.
Guys, this is absolute madness. Everyone should be watching this right now. We even have Cloak coming out, Marauder Battlecruiser. That's a pretty good unit composition, I guess. Oh man, a ton of infestors saw it. Let's take a look at the unit count. 25 Corruptors, 10 Broods, 16 infestors against 15 Ravens, 30 Vikings and stuff.
Yeah, just about every unit in the game. It's not. Protoss is in here right now. Whoa, whoa, huge engagement. Seeker missiles hitting those Corruptors. That is huge because he's going to lose air dominance now.
Oh, some sick fungals
going
off.
Oh
my God. All the Ravens. Are they going to go down, Tasis?
These are too valuable. He cannot afford to lose this.
And whoa! He just killed 10 Ravens right there. But he did lose a few.
What was the deal with the point defense drones there? That was kind of cute.
Yeah, I guess you may as well. They last a long time, right?
I suppose so. I was thinking mass auto turret or something to hold a position, but here come the Broodlords now. My God, they both just lost a huge significant part of their army. Now remember, Vikings, obviously they're going to beat the Broodlords since Broodlords can't hit air, but nuke again, and this might force the Broodlords to retreat. Banning out. He needs to head back. Of course, Bomber needs to be careful not to have his own Vikings nuke. Now he cancels the nuke.
Good choices.
Let me check here. How many nukes do we have in the game right now? We got one nuke.
Yeah, 2 more are building. So this is actually just pure madness, Tasteless. At this point, let's take a look at the minerals being mined. Bomber's actually going a little bit dry in a lot of places. Doesn't have a lot of SCVs left. He's mostly just relying on mules. Has just 28 SCVs on the map.
And as you can see, the Vikings coming in here, hitting so hard.
Yeah, look at this. Beautiful. Every time he gets a fungal on a group of these, he gets a lot of them cost efficiently. But those point defense drones are actually doing a pretty good job. They've caught a lot of
I know. It's kind of funny to see mass point defense drone. I guess no way in hell can you attack into the air with Corruptors.
Dude, we have 5 battlecruisers on the way. There are 10 Ravens out as well.
All right, now remember, Zerg needs to get the bottom base or take out this top one. Either the two are successes.
There's a lot of Ravens here on the side. He's got to watch out for Seeker missiles and a lot of damage dealt.
He's got to get out of there as well with the nuke coming down here. He may just cancel that, and he does just that. That nuke is somewhere out in space, probably hitting the planet full of blocks or something like that.
You know what I want to see is just like an extra 4 queens sitting around for transfusions. Well, he has 2, I guess, so that helps a lot. But I mean, if you can just keep running your broods and not actually losing them, this is getting to the point where we could see a completely mined out map, and just whoever has the most cost efficient army, the most spellcasters, things like that, can end up winning it, and queens are actually a big part of that.
All right, it looks like now Corruptors are going to come in here while the Zerg is taking the bottom center location. Now, if Bomber wants to win this, he cannot allow the Zerg to have the bottom center. If Zerg wants to win this, he either A, takes the top, or B, occupies the bottom. Because Terran is going to run out of mules here, and the mules just suck up the map, or the middles of the map, much more quickly. Now, kind of an interesting angle of approach here. Didn't really expect for him to come in from this side here.
Yeah, I guess, you know, it's smart to keep moving all around the place and seeing
where another nuke. The nuke basically making it impossible. Oh my God!
That was absolutely brutal. He's got to be careful about all these Corruptors.
The nuke might actually land here, Artosis. And it hits his own.
Oh my God! A huge nuke.
He just nuked himself.
That's right, he did.
Doesn't matter. Insanity here.
Yeah, we have a lot of Corruptors on the way, but both players are basically out of money right now. Corruptors picking off what they can. The Battlecruisers trying to push forward.
It's all about this.
Is he going to lose Battlecruisers to Spores? Yes, he is. In fact, the Vikings flying over. He's got to be careful, man. He's got to keep as much alive as he can. Now,
Bomber is literally almost out of cash.
Yeah, Bomber has not that much. You know, he is dropping the mules. Well, I guess he has.
Yes, well, I would say a few more minutes left before
okay, wait a minute. This base is
broke. Now, as you can see here, he's got to get this base down at the bottom. Can Slivko hold on here? This game is insane. I keep casting the best TVZs of my life here.
Oh my
God. Nuking and landing the mule, saying,
Look
get out, Slivko. Bomber always a little bit ballsy here.
36 kills on that guy. And oh, man, Slivko has held on very well, but does he have much left in him? His supply is dropping. He's at 75.
It's like we're going to have another nuke here pretty soon with the Cloaked Ghost.
Infested Terrans coming out, but... Well,
is it enough?
It might.
He's going to have to retreat from those Infested Terrans.
Yeah,
Infested Terrans is more of a positional play unit, forcing you to retreat or face a high damage battle. Oh man, this game's insane. Now he's making Marines now.
There's another nuke somewhere. There it is.
All right, there it is.
An interesting little nuke. He's going to get some Zergoons made.
And it looks like he will get this bottom base. This could be it, actually. And as the nuke lands, he wants to make sure the nuke actually hits. A little bit of showmanship there from Bomber. All right, let's do a mineral check here of Slivko's bases.
All right, pretty low. Gone, 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 gone. So basically, he's got this left. His economy's done for.
Pretty much just one base on the map that hasn't really been touched. Bottom center. Because Bomber is going to suck up all the resources at that one base that he did have minerals at, because he has so many available mules that there's just not a lot.
You know,
you can do to stop it.
Seeker Missile is just coming so strong in this Intel Extreme Masters tournament, Tasis. We're seeing a ridiculous amount of Seeker Missiles here. You know, Terrans are saying, all right, Zerg, we'll go to Supreme late game, but I'm going to be blowing up everything. That's
funny for Bomber because he doesn't know the supply here. He has no idea the lead he has, so he's going to stay back, max out, and push out again. Well, he's scanning, but there's so much areas where Zerg can be on the map. So this might be Slivko's Alamo here. He's got to get this base over here, the one where the command center is trying to, occupy now. We saw mass spore crawlers, so it looks like Bomber has switched back into a pretty solid ground army. Spore crawlers are essentially useless against that unless it's a cloaked ghost or something.
That's very true. So many corruptors out. It's a great tech switch, Stasis. And this could be it. This is a ton of units. The spore crawler's doing a great job. Point defense drone's coming up though, and they are catching just about everything right now.
My God, this game is crazy. We got so many Broodlords here, and that does it.
GG.
Whoa.
Whoa, indeed.